Hey guys, Chris here, lead trainer at Film Editing Pro, and today we're going to be answering a pretty interesting question. How much should we charge? So whether you're freelance or you're looking for a full-time job, you don't want to undersell yourself, and you also don't want to scare away your clients or your potential employers. Today, to answer this question, is one of our trainers, Natalie, who's also a freelance editor, so she knows a lot about this topic. Take it away, Natalie.
Congratulations. After all that hard work and grind, someone wants to hire you. But wait, how much should you charge for your work? Too much and your client might go somewhere else. Too little and you'll be missing out. Let's discuss the elephant in the room, money. Some editors earn $20 an hour. On the other hand, high-end professional film editors working in Hollywood can earn all the way up to $10,000 a week and beyond. So, what should you charge? Pay is dependent on several factors. Let's consider a few. Number 1, the client's budget. What is the project? Is it an indie film, marketing content for a small startup, a project for an affluent company or post house? You can reasonably expect the budget to scale by the size of the project and the size of the company hiring you. Why else do budgets vary? The client's budget reflects the quality of work they want you to deliver and the worth of the product to themselves. The more important the job, the more they're willing to pay. Number 2, the market. In New York, Los Angeles, London, there are a larger number of companies or post-production houses with high-end budgets. A New York-based company is used to paying New York wages. Even if you're working remotely, you can benefit from the increased pay. So keep that in mind when crafting your quote. Number 3, the scale of the job. Some jobs are simple, others are complex and carry more responsibility. You'll want to ask yourself questions like these. What are you getting hired to do? Creating sizzle reels for a business's social media account likely won't be viewed the same as cutting a long-form documentary. Consider how many other editors could do the same job, or if you have an expertise that's hard for the client to find. Is the job simple, or does it require you to make creative decisions? Your rate should reflect not only the time the job takes, but also the complexity. An assistant assembling a rough cut is very different from being responsible for the final edit and creative direction. How long will the project take? If a client buys your time in bulk, maybe a month-long booking, it's reasonable to expect the rate be lower, maybe because of unforeseen downtime. If the client is booking you for a day or by the hour, you can expect to charge a higher rate due to the intermittent nature of the work. Will you be responsible for managing others? If the project requires you to bring in help for things like VFX, color, sound, you'll want to make sure you factor the time it takes for scheduling, communication, and other administrative tasks. Number 4, what you bring to the table. For example, experience. Have you been an editor for years, or are you just starting out? Some might see value in age, thinking that means creative judgment and reliability. Others may see value in youth, reasoning you'll be fast and knowledgeable about current trends and tools. Also consider, what's your reputation and how well does the client know you? Are you an unknown variable to them? If so, they may not risk as high of an amount paying you. What's your skill set? Are your abilities fine-tuned? Or is getting the job done a slow ride? Clients should pay for results, and that isn't always dependent on the time. If it takes you all day to do a job that another editor does in a half day, it's not the client's fault. Conversely, just because you can do something fast does not mean that it needs to be cheap. In both instances, the finished video is the same, so the cost should be the same. Always be mindful about what your history brings to the table, regardless of how long you've been working. And if you don't need the project as a resume builder, be firm about your rates. Now that we've gone through some of the many factors to consider regarding compensation, let's take a look at a few different scenarios. Meet Jane. She's been hired for social media cutdowns. Her client has only 20,000 followers, which will negatively affect what the videos are worth to the client. There's not a guaranteed ROI, so they're willing to pay $60 per 60-second video. It might not seem a lot, but in this scenario, the rate is fair considering the client's circumstances. So time will be a big factor for Jane. If she can edit each video in 2 hours, she's making $30 an hour. If she can secure a number of clients like this and even get faster, it's a great way for her to build her revenue stream and her resume. Meet Yoshi. He's an assistant editor on a project for a large post house in Los Angeles. In LA, production companies are used to paying $50 to $100 an hour for a union editor, depending on their classification. But with this type of job, even if you're not in the union, but if you're in a similarly large market, you can expect similar compensation. Here, the market is dictating Yoshi's rates. Of course, he will have needed the reputation and the skill set to be able to secure and keep a job like this, but there's not much question about what the work is worth. Meet Penelope. She's the go-to freelance editor for a medium-sized corporation, and these videos yield a clear ROI for the company and help them land large contracts. They're happy to continue to pay her $600 a day because she consistently delivers good results every time they turn to her. In this scenario, it's likely that Penelope did not start out earning $600 a day, but by having a client whose projects directly translate to profit, she's been able to gradually increase rates without pushback, securing for herself a stable income. Hopefully now you can see the many different ways each job and all of its intricacies can affect your income. An honest estimation of your worth, what you bring to the table, and your employer's needs is critical. A final but equally important question to consider is how much you need to earn. You'll need to tally up all your expenses. To help you out, we've created this spreadsheet. First, input your monthly expenses, such as your rent or mortgage, utilities, internet, anything that gets paid on a monthly cycle. Under monthly subtotal, it will automatically calculate your figures. For bills that are a one-off, for example, money to go away on vacation or your annual car service, list those items in extra expenses. Under extra subtotal, it will automatically calculate those figures. You'll then see your average monthly expense and your total expenses for the year. To start making use of these details, fill out schedule preferences. How many days a week do you want to work? Maybe you always take Fridays off, so then put 4. How much time do you want to book off each year for vacation? With those details factored in, you'll start to get an idea of how much you should be earning a day. But more on that soon. Download this spreadsheet for free at the link below. You can't demand more than you or the job is worth. However, knowing your needs might dictate what markets you choose to pursue work in. Let's take a look at another example. This is Jeff. He knows he needs to be earning around $100,000 a year to cover his expenses. To reach that target, what should he be earning weekly? $100,000 divided by 52 gets you approximately $1,900 a week. $1,900 divided by a 40-hour work week gets you approximately $50 an hour. $50 an hour times an 8-hour workday is $400 a day. Working 5 days a week, that gets you $2,000 a week, which equals around $104,000 a year. Now that's a perfect scenario if you are consistently working 5 days a week with the job that hits your minimum rate. This gives you a baseline for the minimum you should charge. Why do we say the minimum? Remember, when you work for yourself, you don't get paid vacation time, health insurance, or an office to work in. You need to earn extra to cover these things when you want to take time off, when you have to because you're sick, or periods when work might be slow. Also, what about work-related costs, such as the equipment that you need to edit with? Should that overhead be included? Absolutely. In reality, $400 a day isn't reaching your $100,000 gross salary goal. What now? Does that mean all that number crunching we just did goes out the window? Not at all. As a rule of thumb, you should add about 20% or a little bit more on top of your baseline to cover all these eventualities and costs. That means $400 a day becomes $480. $50 an hour becomes $60 an hour. Now, Jeff's needs might not be yours and his monetary requirements may change over time too. That's okay. The formula remains the same. Just input your relevant numbers. Now that you have a clear idea how much you need to be earning a week, what's next? You now know the quantity of jobs you need to take on. For example, say you want to earn $1,500 a week. If a client hires you at $600 a day for a 3-day project, well, you've already earned $1,800 that week. That's great. So maybe you take on fewer jobs at a higher rate or more jobs at a lower rate. Are there any other reasons you may accept a job on a lower rate? Well, maybe when you are starting out and trying to build a client base, you do this to attract new customers. You can consider it a cost to marketing. It's an opportunity for them to get to know you, to see how valuable and skilled you are, and why they should hire you again. They may also conclude you are worth being paid more. Or you do this just to get experience, which in time will increase your rate as well. Of course, don't take a hit that will negatively impact your life and well-being. That's a bad way to begin a career. We do not recommend that. In summary, we've seen pay is dependent on skill, market, and the job. There are a wide range of earning possibilities available. You need to assess your value based on the skills and abilities you bring to a job. And of course, know what you need to earn to formulate your rates. After that, you can use your discernment to know what kind of work and how much work you choose to take on.
Hey there! For tons more free editing training, head over to our website at filmeditingpro.com/free training. Here you can download free editing guides along with high-quality video training courses created by our team of professional Hollywood editors. Our tutorials cover a wide range of editing topics, like cutting awesome movie trailers, editing action scenes, how to work with music and sound design, and a lot more. All of these free guides and videos are available at filmeditingpro.com/free training. I'll see you next time.